Hi, and thanks for joining us today on Don't Let Grants Stress You Out. Today, I want to drill in to that title, Not Letting Grants Stress You Out. And I want to focus specifically on federal grants. And I want to share with you a few initial tips to help make federal grants slightly less stressful for you. I get it. There's a ton of pressure in these huge applications that have huge dollars on the line. But does it have to stress you and your team out? Well, we'll see if these tips can help. We've found them to be incredibly helpful within our team and for me personally. So let me share what we've got going. So the first tip that I want to share is the importance of having a plan. Once you decide that you want to apply for a federal grant and you're looking at the deadline that's ahead, let's lay out a plan for what that looks like. Not just for what I might do as the writer or what you might do, but where do we need information from our collaborative partners? Where will we want input from our colleagues? Where would we expect to need a colleague to do a grammar edit for us? And regardless of how you set that timeline up, what tool you might use, here's the number one thing you should remember. Don't plan to submit on the day of the deadline. Plan to submit 5 business days early so that something in real life could throw you off by a day or two, so that the validation process could take a day or two with the grants.gov system. Plan to submit early. That is one of the best things you can do to protect yourself and prevent those last minute scrambles. So that's the first tip I wanted to share today. And the second one, well, it's about those around you. As you're laying out that timeline, as you're thinking about the plan for getting from point A, we have an opportunity we want to apply for, to point B, where we click submit. How is it that we get there? It is not just about you. It is about your grant team. And so when you think about applying for a federal grant, before you dig in too deep, you want to make sure that your colleagues are aware of what their role is on the grant team for a federal application. Maybe you say, there's no one around me. I don't have a grant team. What I'm talking about with a grant team is the group of colleagues who have a stake in seeing this application be successful. Those that are going to provide you with information, budget, HR-related information, data, information from collaborative partners. There is going to be probably a very long list of colleagues that are going to help gather and share information for you in order to make this application competitive. So bring them together at the very beginning after you've got a draft timeline together and get their input. Make sure that they understand what role it is that they will play and what the timeline restrictions will be so that you can meet that important deadline, not the formal deadline, the one that is you submitting early. So there you have it, our first 2 tips about not letting federal grants stress you out. The first, make sure you have a project timeline with who's going to do what and what you need when. And 2, make sure that your grant team, those colleagues you're going to be asking for things of, support information throughout that timeline, that they know how important their role is. All right, if you have other questions about federal grants, drop them in the comments below or be sure to reach out.